Exactly what's going to happen tomorrow. It's not the best day of the weekend.
No.
It's going to be, we got the storm chance in the morning, strong storms, and in the afternoon, some high winds. The thing is interesting, we have all the storms, high winds. It's going to be in the upper 70s, maybe 80 degrees.
Yeah, because you've pretty much what we call the blowtorch effect, because this is a strong wind that's coming in from one direction, out of the south and southwest. But that's going to be the crazy thing. This is not just a severe weather event for any sort of storms. It's a windstorm. You're looking at miles of coverage that we're going to have wind damage across the United States just from the power of this low-pressure system outside of any storms.
And Sunday is the best day of the weekend.
Yes.
A little bit cooler, but still sunshine. So if you got plans this weekend, I would take Sunday into consideration. We always want to show the view this morning.
The calm before the storm.
Definitely the calm before. Those are great shots there from all of our cameras. But yeah, this weekend, especially tomorrow, as Chris was talking about, it is going to be a mess. Low 70s today. Not bad. I mean, it's still above average. It's just tomorrow that we do see the strong storms in the morning. 9 to 11. Watch out. If you got plans at that time. There's so many outdoor events going on this weekend.
Yeah, that's the problem. So I was telling somebody that the LSPCA is having an event tomorrow in Lancaster, and so many
LSPCA, what is that?
So Lancaster SPCA. So the
SPCA.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So what they were saying is they have an outdoor event, and everyone's so focused on the storms. You have to realize that this wind event is going well through the morning, through the afternoon. And it's actually later in the afternoon, heading in the evening, that the winds are going to be the strongest. That's why Larry has the high winds from 5 to 7 onward.
It's really going to be a situation we don't see it that often. It's more likely, and kind of specify here. I want to put this time frame in here, Chris, because this pretty dramatically displays what's going to happen tomorrow.
Wow, look at that. Gusts of 40 miles per hour. And note, whenever you have rain that precedes an event like this, that can often sometimes saturate soil if it's a heavy rain. Yeah. So I think that we're going to have a lot of downed trees across the area, and that's also going to lead to some power issues.
Certainly so. In the mountains, if you have travel plans tomorrow in the mountains, any high-profile vehicle, a van or a truck or something like that, up 321 or 421, you're going to see winds gusting up to maybe 60 miles an hour. I mean, really, we quite often see these situations when we have a tropical system on the coast and we get some of the inland, we get some of these high winds like this, and that's exactly what it's going to be. So this is a big territory that covers that high wind watch. That's mountains, foothills, all the mountains covered in this right here.
Yeah, and this is also the rarity here, because usually a high wind watch is primarily just the mountains. You usually see it cut off in Caldwell and Burke County. This just shows the magnitude of this system, and the reason why it's the mountains that always get the strongest winds is there's less friction. You don't have the trees and things that are blocking it. It's higher up, so the power of the winds that we have aloft are just mixing down to the surface much easier up there. Some values that we are seeing on Futurecast near hurricane strength.
Yeah, I mean, when you think getting up to 65 miles an hour, and those are gusts, that means sustained winds are going to be up around 30, 40 miles an hour in the mountains. So if you live in Hickory or Taylorsville, if you live over towards Burlington, not Burlington, if you live toward Morganton and into areas around Rutherford County, all the way in the mountains, that's the prime area for that. And even locally here in our area, we're going to see winds gusting over 40 miles an hour. And you were talking about loosened soil and the trees going down, tree limbs. Certainly power is a major problem out there.
So if you're going to clean up the yard today, don't. I would just wait until Sunday, because Sunday the winds get a whole lot lighter, because we don't know what's going to come from this, but I guarantee Duke's going to be very busy by the end of the weekend.
Without doubt, there it is right there. You see winds 15 to 30, sustained winds. It's a constant wind of 30 miles an hour. If you get hour after hour winds up to 30 miles an hour, then gusts to 45, certainly tree limbs going down. And because there's so many trees in Charlotte, that's just common to see when we get these storm systems coming in. To be aware of that. It's a weather aware day. Power risk definitely tomorrow, especially from the afternoon into the evening.
And one of the most dangerous things about any severe weather event is the falling trees. That's usually what we look out for. That's usually the biggest loss of life. And people are most likely going to say, hey, the storms are done. I'm fine. No, trees could be falling still well after that heading into the afternoon. So don't focus in on the rain. Focus on this is a wind event the entirety of your Saturday. And
here we go, the latest radar picture. Big storms expected in the Midwest today, and then you can see the rain tracking towards the area. It's going to be really tomorrow. This is the kind of the time frame we start to see the showers moving into the mountains tomorrow morning. Look at that line of storms, 7 a.m. tomorrow morning from the mountains all the way down into areas in the upstate of South Carolina.
And Larry, it looks like the timing has moved up a little bit, because before it's fluctuated, because I think like a few days ago it was looking like this time, and then it moved closer to noon. Now it's kind of back, so I would call it maybe just mid to late morning is really they'll look.
Without a doubt. And you can see this is 8 a.m. They start to move into our area. Along Interstate 85, you're heading down to Spartanburg or Greenville. That's some heavy rain and storms at that time. And then between 8 and 10, all across our area. That almost follows the I-85 corridor right there into Charlotte. So be aware of some heavy, heavy rain mid-morning tomorrow. And then you can see this is lots of heavy storms possible down around Lancaster and South Carolina.
And we're actually pretty lucky here for the timing of this, because you're going to hear later on in the evening news the destruction that this storm system is going to provide, because there's a couple of bullseyes especially that we could have more long track tornadoes. Yeah. We're not looking at that potential here, but this is a decaying system from that line. So you notice that you have that bright yellow to the southeast. It's only our southeastern viewing area that's under that severe weather outlook, because that's where it's going to start to become more unstable. If this system was arriving during the middle of the afternoon, there'd be a lot more juice allowing for this, but still a general chance that you're going to hear thunderstorms tomorrow morning. Without a doubt. So if you're traveling, a lot of folks travel to the beach this time of the year. We're getting to Wilmington, Riceville Beach, Carolina Beach, all the way to the Outer Banks. Could be some storms, strong storms over there. And here we go today. Not bad at all. Got the home opener for the Knights. All right, Knights. Great weather for that. It's going to be okay. It should be, cloudy skies. Taking on the Memphis Redbirds. The Memphis Redbirds. Yeah, and I don't always know which ones of the farm teams for what, but it makes sense. You said the Redbirds are for the Cardinals. Cardinals, so yeah. That totally makes sense. Our White Sox won last night. We're farm team of that, so hopefully the Knights take on and have a great game. And then tomorrow, I would say anything outdoors. Unfortunately, we're going to have high winds and storms. Plan around that. If you're an organizer of the event, there are a lot of tents out there. Be prepared I would say that you may want to take them down early, because it's late afternoon, those high winds out there. I was downtown a couple of days ago, and there are a lot of tents already up, even some larger tents. So it's troublesome. Yeah, there's going to be a lot. Also, I don't suggest wearing your Knights hat this weekend, because you might be chasing it down the road. It's something so simple as wearing a hat could be a hindrance for you. So plain and simple, it's going to be super windy tomorrow. That hat could be in Wilmington in a heartbeat. There you go. Well, the weather where we're here throughout the day. Chris is here at noon. Brad's here this afternoon. Brittany's here. And KJ over the upcoming weekend. The whole team is here. Yep. To let you know what's going on. So be weather aware, especially tomorrow, but enjoy the day today. We'll see you Monday morning, right? Oh, and go Knights. Yes. Go Knights. Yes. Good night.